Hey folks, today we are going to do some laying down yoga. So if it's available to you, begin on the ground with your back as flat as you can and your legs extended. I invite you to have your hands by your side, palms facing down, and just give the body a moment to settle. Noticing what's coming up physically, emotionally, and possibly mentally as you lay, letting the ground support all of your weight. Whenever we tune into the body, yes, the mind will do what it wants to do. It will tend to wander. We may have to bring it back to this moment, this movement, this breath. But we'll also notice possibly a correlation between what's going on with us mentally and emotionally and what we are experiencing in our bodies. And sometimes even the movements may call to mind some aspects of your life that are not in the right here and right now. So just be mindful of those things, pay attention, notice them. You don't have to get entangled with them and dig into it and get investigative, but simply note what comes up, what movement you were doing possibly, and then let it go and bring your attention back to this moment and this movement. So we're starting off in corpse pose, and I invite you to take in a breath and raise your arms straight. It's up in this position out in front of you. And when you bring your arms up, we have the option of reaching and extending the arms fully, fingertips reaching as far as they can, or actually letting the shoulders hit the floor and really like allowing the bones to settle into the sockets. So allow the bones to settle into the sockets and the shoulders to drop to the floor. Noticing what you feel in this position. What comes up for you? It may be a sense of vulnerability, a sense of wanting, nothing at all, many things, tiredness. Just tune into what you're feeling. And when you're ready, extend the hands fully above you, moving in a downward direction, and let them fall to the ground. Again, letting the shoulders settle against the ground, not efforting in any way to hold yourself up. How often do you let yourself be fully supported? And now we'll do a slight movement involving the arch in our backs. And if you have any back pain, feel free to just maintain this position. Otherwise, we're going to do somewhat of like a cat-cow movement, creating a C in the spine and creating some space here between our back and the ground. So breathing in, try to arch the back and really get the back off the ground. You might feel a stretch in the lower back, possibly the mid back, and hold that as long as it feels comfortable for you, and then release and let it touch the ground fully again. And let's do that 3 times if you'd like. Arching the back, bringing it off the spine, off the ground, and then resettling. It's not really a sensation we may be too familiar with. So, what does that mean? What does this mean for you, for your body, in your mind at this time? And I'll invite you to do some leg movements now. We'll be bringing our knees into our chest slowly. Feel free to do whatever is comfortable for you with your hands at this time. You can bring one knee up at a time like I did, or you can bring both knees up at the same time. And bring them in as close to your body as you are able. After a moment, wrap your arms around your knees and bring them as close in towards the body as you can. Still breathing, noticing any places of constriction in the body. What's working to keep you together in this position? And then you might bring your head up to meet your knees and really curl into a ball. Allow the head to fall when you're ready. And you can bring the feet down to the floor, noticing the sensation when the feet touch the floor. And then slowly extend your left leg down and out. With the right leg, we'll do a similar movement to what we just did. And bring the knee up towards the chest, but this time keeping the leg kind of at a right angle. Notice what you feel in this position. You might play around with your foot, do an ankle roll, see what that feels like. Flex the foot, point the foot. What do all of these sensations mean and feel like? Notice what you're doing with your hands, where they're placed. And once you do, wrap your hands around your thigh, the right thigh that's in the air. And bring the right leg as close as you can to your chest, while allowing the left leg to stay where it is, on the ground. And don't worry about where your legs are in position, in relationship to your body, your space, your movement. Play around with what feels comfortable, what feels challenging, what feels right for you. And then you might want to bring your head in towards your knee, similar to what we did with both legs earlier. What muscles are working? How does that feel? What do you think about that? Letting the head fall down to the ground. And if you're done with this movement, bringing the right leg down to the ground and bringing the left leg up in a right angle. Notice if your hands are by your side or resting on your belly. If you feel any sensations in the palms, in the arms, the torso. And then gently wrap the hands around the left thigh and bring the leg towards you, keeping the right leg on the ground. And you might notice that when we move one part of the body, something else also moves. Is it needed? Is it a supplemental support? Do you notice your leg, your right leg, come off the ground as you bring your left leg closer? Does it need to do that? Can you hold your right leg flush with the ground? Does it need to do that? What does any of this feel like for you? Paying attention in ways you may not typically. And then you might bring the head to the knee. Release the thigh. Let your hands fall by your side and your leg back down to the ground as before. And feel free to stay here for a moment, just noticing any sensations in the body. Is there anything here now that wasn't here when we began? What does the body feel like after it's given effort? What does the mind do when the efforting ceases? Might we sometimes look for ways to make the efforting cease in order to get to a place of pleasant sensation? Or do we enjoy the efforting, the adrenaline, the hormones, the working of the body, sometimes, and the mind? Just noticing how you interact and interplay with your inner landscape and outer movement. Taking as long as you'd like in this position. And those of you that are ready, we'll shift into our next movement. And as we do that, I invite you to remain mindful, paying close attention of each body part as it moves through space. What does it do intuitively? What adjustments do you have to make consciously? How do you maintain your balance? You can get into the next position, which will be tabletop with all 4 hands and knees on the floor. For me, it's easiest to get into that position by bringing my legs up, placing my feet on the floor, and rolling to one side. Once you're in a tabletop position, I encourage you, if you can, to tighten the stomach or the ab muscles just a bit so that you don't fall forward. And while in this position, we can lean into our bones, or we can use our muscles to help hold us up. Spreading the fingers as far apart as is comfortable for you, and possibly rotating the elbows outward a little bit, just to give you some stability and even pressure to prevent putting too much weight on the wrists. And we'll do a cat-cow from this position. So if you'd like to join me, you take in a deep breath and extend the back like we did on the ground into a C curve, raising the chest forward and up. And on the exhale, pulling the navel towards the spine and then creating a C with the upper mid-back, and perhaps even pushing from the ground into the back to really get a concave shape. And on the in-breath, letting the belly drop and the chest move forward, creating that C shape. And on the out-breath, exhaling and pushing into the upper mid-back, creating a C in the opposite direction. Let's do that for a few moments at whatever speed is comfortable for you. Noticing what you feel and what you think as you do this movement. And you can continue to do that for just a bit, or you can come up off of the wrists for a moment and just, whew, you heard that? Bones are popping. Just maybe give the wrists a little bit of a twirl. All right. So the next movement is a little bit of a balancing act. We'll go back into that tabletop position and extend the left arm forward and out, and the right leg, if possible, out to the back. So opposite leg and arm. And notice how you can balance in this position, what's required to balance, and what might be coming to mind. Breathe. If you haven't put your hands and your leg down already, you may do so now. And we'll mindfully switch to the opposite leg and arm. Right arm extends forward, left leg extends back. And bringing the hand and the knee back to starting position. And again, possibly coming off the wrists, doing a little roll. Now we're going to shift into a position that requires us to be on our backs. So make your way mindfully, in whatever way is comfortable for you, back to the ground. from this place, we'll do a bridge pose. And if you would like to modify this position in any way, one way to do so is by putting your legs up on a chair. Feel free to modify any of the positions. As I always say, everything I say is a suggestion. So, holding your hands face down by your side. You might even want to, if you're on a yoga mat, perhaps grab the sides of the mat to hold on to, whichever feels most comfortable for you. Keeping your feet planted on the floor, knees bent. Remember to breathe throughout this movement. One may tend to hold the breath, but how often are we holding, waiting, literally holding our breaths unnecessarily when we can let it go? We'll lift our bums into the air and bring the chest to chin as much as is comfortable for you in this fashion. Trying to keep the legs together in parallel as much as is possible for you. You may feel several muscle groups working for this position. And when you're ready, lowering back down to the ground, allowing the back to be flat on the ground. We'll do that 2 more times. Lifting up. And going back to the ground slowly, not falling to the ground if possible, paying attention to the muscles that are necessary to hold yourself up and what's necessary to bring yourself down. And last time, going up. And softening back down to the ground. If you'd like to give yourself a rest here, you can extend the legs, go back into corpse pose for just a bit. Noticing what's here. And that feels complete to you. You can rejoin me with knees bent, feet on the ground. And I'm going to ask you to extend your arms to the sides like a T shape. And let the legs fall to one side in this bent position. I'm going to go to my left. Feel free to join me. But keeping the arms as flat as you can on the ground. You can have your gaze going straight up, or you can look in the opposite direction of your legs. Depending on your body, you may need to use the same hand that the legs are turned in that direction of, and just put some pressure on the knee and thigh to hold the legs down flat, especially if your body isn't used to being in this position. When you're ready, you can mindfully switch to the other side, coming across center, very mindfully, keeping the feet together, bringing the legs down on the other side. Again, keeping your head looking straight forward or turning in the opposite direction of your feet, of your legs. When that feels complete, you can bring your legs back to center. Now we'll bring both legs down flat with the ground. Actually, one leg down flat with the ground. The other leg we'll bring up straight instead of bent like we did last time. I have my left leg up. And wrap your hands around the thigh, gently bringing it forward. Notice what's here. You may even slide your hands up to the calf for an even deeper stretch, noticing what you feel and what muscles are working. Relax, releasing the hands, allowing the leg to fall, switching to the opposite side. Bringing the right leg or the other leg up into the air and interlocking the hands behind that thigh. Just a gentle pull towards the abdomen. And again, you may want to bring your hands up higher to the calf. And when you're ready, you can release that and let it go. Noticing what's here. Are there sensations that are pleasant? Are there sensations that are unpleasant? Or possibly even neutral? Where there isn't much sensation at all. And mindfully, in your own time and way, make your way to one side, arm supporting the head, or hand rather, hand and arm. You can have the other hand resting gently in front of you, and we're going to lift the leg that's in the air to about a 45-degree angle. Noticing what this feels like from the inside. Then lower when you're comfortable. And then you can roll over to do the other side. I'm going to switch so you can see my beautiful face. Allowing the hand to support my head on the other side. Hand resting gently in front. Lifting this leg to a 45-degree angle. And notice when you do something sequentially, one after the other, what difference you might feel. What difference might you feel from one side to the other? And then lowering the leg when you're ready. bones cracking. Now you can roll over to your belly and allow your head to rest. Putting your hands down by your side, palms up, face turned in whichever direction is most comfortable for you. What does it feel like when the ground is supporting the front body as opposed to the back body? What's the difference between the earth having your back and the earth having your front? Then you might play with bringing the legs up off the ground, holding them in the air, noticing which muscles work in this direction, letting them rest down on the ground again. And then we'll do our Superman, lifting both the head and the legs, and if you so choose, possibly the arms as well, where only the abdomen is touching the earth, like so. Noticing what this feels like. What perception does this open up of the world for you? And then allowing it to return to the ground. And that concludes our lying down yoga session. I invite you to stay in this position or return to your back and notice what's here, listening to your body.